It's, well, way too close to home for a Boise man.
He lost much of his retirement savings to the tune of about $60,000. And now Smith's case is part of an ABC News investigation. Don Nelson has the details.
Al Smith, a Boise truck stop manager, was on vacation when his retirement rug was pulled from underneath him. I spoke with Smith and ABC News investigative reporter Brian Ross about what exactly happened.
I won't invest in some company unless I studied them for a while.
Al Smith, who's weeks from retiring, has always been a smart investor. At least that's what he thought. He invested in a Chinese coal company that actually was making him money at first, but then one day on vacation, he noticed the stock was in a free fall. And what he learned later broke his heart and wallet.
The chairman of the company decided that he would take all the money from that company, invest it back into another coal mining company he had, and basically formed a shell company out of Puda coal. And that's what's left of it now.
What happened to Al Smith and many other Americans prompted reporter Brian Ross from ABC News to start digging into Puda coal and other Chinese companies that were forced off or withdrew from American stock markets after questions emerged about their bookkeeping. I asked Ross how something like this could even happen.
Well, what happened is that in the late 2008-2009 period of time, NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange aggressively pursued companies in China to come on to the American stock markets and sell their stock here. It meant big profits for the exchanges. And it also meant for investors like Al Smith in Boise a kind of seal of approval. If it's on NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, it must be okay. Well, it turns out that wasn't the case.
Smith realizes the chances that he'll see any return from his initial investment in Puda coal is slim to none. But through a class action lawsuit, he and others will keep trying. But for now,
I'd be very careful. I am now. There's no investment in foreign stock for me.
Oh my goodness, how heartbreaking, $60,000.
60 grand.
So, Don, it doesn't sound like there's much these victims can even do. What are their options?
To say the least, Americans cannot sue companies in Chinese courts. And the man who used to run Puda coal, guess what? Nowhere to be found.
Of course.
So you can try to get something from the broker, you know, the auditors and the underwriters, but they tell us it is an uphill battle.
And if we want to see more of Brian Ross's investigation?
Tonight on Nightline on today's 6 on Your Side.
11.